Just relax, please, and share these thoughts. As we have been discussing, and I hope you are seeing it clearly as to being yourself is something instantaneous. There is no waiting time. When in every one of our thoughts, please see it. As you sit down here, suppose you have the thought of Mahabalipuram. The thought is here, but the place is far away. You can miss it because your thought is about Mahabalipuram, but you are in ashram. There is a distance. So while sitting down here, with your eyes closed, many memories can flash at random. Whichever memory flashes, whatever thoughts come, that will remind you of an object, or a person, or a situation, or experience in life, which is far away or near in time and space. It's a memory about your childhood. It takes you years back in time. It's a memory about your school or college days. It's far away in space, as well as in time. Whereas, if it is a thought about yourself, who you are, Shivoham, Shivoham, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Absolute. The thought is about yourself. There is no distance between the thought and what it stands for. You have associated, you have listened to the truth, recognized it, seen it for yourself. The distance between thought and what it stands for is zero distance. There is nothing, no distance whatsoever. It is not the distance between the words in your mind and the words in the book. When you are a person with book knowledge, the thought reminds you of the book. Ajo nitya saswatayam purana. When this thought comes, instead of reminding about yourself, if you remember the book, Bhagavad Gita, then there is a distance between your thought and the text. If it reminds you of your teacher, of the classes which you heard, you are living at the level of your thought. You are familiar with the thought. At the the source of that thought is a book, or a teacher, or a place in which you studied, you miss the book, you miss the teacher, and of course you miss the teaching also. With that thought about the self, aham, atma, I, the self, ajaha, unborn, nitya, eternal, purana, unsilted, fresh. The meaning of these words. You are the meaning. There is no distance between this thought and what these thoughts attempt to reveal. Thus, if you see, friends, being yourself is instantaneous with the name. It reminds you of the nameless without the name. Of course, you are with yourself, the nameless being. Are you being that? Please see that, friends. Again and again I talk about it because most of the people, if you even look at your own experience, ask yourself from the morning until now, what is your preoccupation? Have you really consciously tried to sit down and be with yourself? Of course, if it is effortless for you, I have no comments. The choice is yours, to sit down or not to sit down, to contemplate with words or not, that's your choice. But in case you are a person not dwelling on yourself continuously, if you feel disturbed, restless, affected, ask yourself a question. Have you consciously ever decided to be the self? If you have not done it, and morning until now, if it has been one perception or the other, one thought or the other, busy with seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, eating something, talking to somebody, doing this thing or that thing, without any focus, attention on yourself, then when you close your eyes, of course, random thoughts will continue to keep coming. But in case you know and you have observed that who you are, consciousness, Chaitanya Atma, aham, Atma, I, the self, consciousness. All the words point out my own nature, who I am. It's effortless and immediate. All other thoughts remind you of the objects outside, a person outside, a situation outside, an experience outside. But depending upon the thought, most people, either in the past or in an imaginary future, or something which is externally happening at this moment, you stay at that level. Rarely you come across people who are in the presence, the existence, the Sat, the Chit, awareness, existence is absolutely blissful. Just relax, friends. If you are with yourself, I don't have to even say the word relax and relax and relax again and again, because your relaxing is not something, an induced state. Relaxation is your nature. Like space is so relaxed. To construct something, there is effort. To demolish something, there is effort. Space always remains as it is. More and more you observe and be yourself. Your thoughts become totally innocent, like innocent clouds passing in a vast space. No more shall you consider any thought an agitation, distraction, but nice little pictures. All your thoughts like a picture gallery where your life is represented. My life is in pictures in my mind. Your life is in pictures. A pictorial presentation, a thought is like a picture. Nobody else has the access to those thoughts. conscious we all are. Consciousness we all are. That we are conscious, the consciousness, there is no variation. But pictures are varied. Your experiences, your sensations, your perceptions, your memories are exclusively yours. Nobody has access to that. And who you are is not those pictures. Listen carefully. You can open your eyes and listen. You can close your eyes and listen. Whichever way you are comfortable, please do so. But please see the truth instantaneously right now. All the pictures, friends, it is yours, mine, or anybody's. They are very exclusive to you. And those pictures can help you to live your life, but they don't give you an existence. They don't contribute towards your being who you are in the absolute sense. Because long before the thoughts were gathered, even as a child, you were already existing. Your thoughts don't make you who you are. In your presence, thoughts are picked up. Your thoughts, listen carefully, do not make you, they do not give you a sense of being. They give you a relative role. Please see that very clearly. They provide you, they give you a relative role, but they do not give you a sense of being who you are. I hope you understand that language very, very clearly. Your sense of being is not a name, is not a word, is not a perception, it is not a thought. And Shankara will say, so beautifully writing down Atma Shatakam, Mano Buddhi Ahankar Chittani Ahamna. The I is not. Mind, the indecision. Buddhi, the decisions. Chittam, memories of every kind. And ahankar, this I thought. Aham na aham, ahankar, I am not the I thought. Na ca srotra jive, na ca ghrana nitya. Neither I am the sense organs which help in perception. The skin, the ears, the eyes, the tongue, the nose. Nor am I. Na ca vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu. Neither I am. The space, the air, the fire, the water or the earth, all the elements. The elements do not say the I. Space has no sense of the I. Air, fire, water, earth. None of these elements and elementals have a sense of I. And I am not either of these elements. Who am I? Siddhananda Rupa Shivom Shivom. Aham Shiva. A spaciousness, immortal existence. That doesn't depend upon the word I. Aham Shiva. Nor can you depend on the word Chit, Ananda, or Sat. Your sense of being doesn't depend upon a name, a word, a concept of any kind. As you are listening, you can see for yourself. Do you see the meaning of it? You can't escape being yourself. You can close your eyes, open your eyes as you choose. It helps you if you close your eyes. To be conscious, you don't need to close or open your eyes. You don't need to choose to. Just revel in yourself of who you are. Of course, you are a maestro, you are a person who is very well established, dwelling on yourself. The eyes opening and closing make no difference to you. You choose what you wish to do, but certainly you don't sleep. Even when you are asleep, of course you are with yourself, but you are helplessly with yourself. Just see the beauty of it. Like in a moment of happiness, you are helplessly with yourself. Since you are not conscious, you don't remember it. You remember the sensation. You remember the object. You remember the ambience, the situation outside. But you don't remember being yourself. Where you are helplessly losing sight of yourself. It's like a deep sleep. In sleep you are very restful, but waking up you are restless. Same thing happens in a sensation. You are watching a movie, tasting some good food, some nice tasty stuff, some fragrance, some nice touch. You love somebody, you listen to music, you are helplessly switched off. Just like after sleep, you wake up to struggle. When the sensation passes, The moment fleets away. You are back to your emptiness. So to be conscious as you listen and as you think for yourself, it reminds you of who you are. There is no distance between the thoughts about yourself and who you are. That is why when you listen to Upanishads, Vedanta, and the teacher is right, and the teaching is beautiful, meaningful, it helps you to be yourself instantaneously. So while listening to the teaching, don't fall in love with the description, the sounds, the words, the teacher, the teaching, but be the self. And you shall never miss anything. By listening to music, if you are being yourself, you shall not miss the music because you are happy wherever you are, blissful wherever you are. You don't attribute that bliss to the music or to a touch, to a taste, to a smell or to a sight. As even while listening to these things, even in a teaching situation, you don't attribute it to the teaching, the words that the teacher says, the words that you listen from the scriptures. If you know how to use it, and the teacher knows how to use it, any sound, any touch, any taste, any smell, any sight can help you to be yourself. The whole creation is a very teaching, learning existence. You can read a message in every little thing in this universe. But in order to do that, you must see yourself as you are. So close your eyes if you have opened it. Be at rest with yourself. If you are like that, please know, recognize, then no thought shall be cause of a restlessness. No thought can make you restless. You only can know for yourself. You don't show your restlessness in public. You may be thoroughly disturbed within, miserable inside, unhappy, empty, but you don't show it to people. You speak nice words, you may be showing a smile, very quiet, deliberate movement. But inside, you may be getting consumed by a thought, an emotion, emptiness, jealousy, hatred, passion, fear. Ask yourself, are you at rest when you are alone with the people, with nobody around, the lap of nature, or you are closed inside a room? So see that for yourself. Thank you. I hope you see these things clearly, and also you are capable of doing it for yourself, by yourself at all times. Then only teaching becomes meaningful, or else it really means nothing. Not many people will be able to even grasp it. Because many people, many people, even your own self, you remain at different levels at different times. Today you may be very sharp, but you did not begin with sharpness. Listen carefully. You may be very sharp, but you did not begin with sharpness. Like, let us take an example. Suppose, as a child, you are interested and like a child, like a curious, you are interested to find out how the rain comes. Yesterday somebody asked me a question like that, so I'm talking to sharing with you. He says, Swamiji, these Ramayana, Mahabharata, these stories, are they real? Did Rama exist? Did Krishna exist? Did all these things happen? He's a very, very sharp person. He's very sincere in his asking the question. Or it is just a cooked up stories. Please see this. Suppose as a child you ask the question, curious as to how this rain comes. If you want to give him a very scientific explanation, that the sun shines, water evaporates, evaporation causes cooling and all that stuff, and then the clouds are formed, when it cools down, it rains. The child will never understand it. The child will never understand it. But suppose you tell him the story, there is a god, Indra. What does he know God? What does he know Indra? But every child is excited. Have you not seen that? What do you understand about God and the Indra? But it gives us an excitement. Remember your childhood. When we read about all these myths, all these stories, how the magicians comes and takes away the princess and the prince goes somewhere, and how the Ravana went inside, how the Mahiravana came and Indrajit killed it, all these beautiful stories, when you listen, how excited. I remember it. You must have, everybody has done it. When your parents will be talking, or your teacher, in our school there is a teacher, he'll be talking about it, we'll be mesmerized, listening to it. And like a serial it will continue. Where he stops, next day comes, what happened? Because you were a child, you want to know what happened. Is it only those stories? Even if somebody tells you their real life story, if it stops at a particular point, you say next. That is how in the TV, the serial hooks people. Imaginary nonsense. But it completely hooks people because they think, what is going to happen next? Certain movies are so powerful. So when this person asked, is it true? I said, look, this is a beautiful tradition. It has food for everybody. Just like your child, when asks you, how does it rain? If you give him the scientific explanation, the child will not like it. But if you explain to him, Indra, he has a huge elephant, Airavata, he puts his big, huge trunk into Indian Ocean, sucks in tons and tons and tons of water, then sprays, and it rains. The child with a thumb in his mouth, correct. He will very, very happily understand everything. But suppose you tell him the scientific explanation, he will sleep. You won't understand. The same child, when he grows up, does he ever question you that you told me a lie? No. At that time he is prepared to understand the whole scientific explanation of it. To a child, if you say you are Brahman, consciousness, absolute, there is nothing other than it, Ajatavada means nothing is born, everything is formless, absolute, what nonsense are you talking? Or God is everywhere, God is in and through everything. You can tell that story, is no problem, He is in and through everything, that you can tell. But if you give it a form, Krishna how nicely dressed up, Rama beautifully dressed up, Shiva dressed up, and Shiva did this, Krishna did this. That time if you say Shiva means auspicious, anything dying is Shiva, anything deathless is Shiva, and you are deathless, auspiciousness everywhere. What are you talking? Will the child ever understand that? So for the child to be motivated, you create a story. But at the same time, certain storylines which are there, historically it may be there, may not be there. Suppose Rama is existing, how do you know? Did not exist. Because there is a place still called Ayodhya, still there is Sarayu river, still there is Dwaraka, still there is Mathura, still there is Vrindavan, there is Yamuna, there is Govardhan, and the dates are also Ramanavami, Krishnastami. It's all existing. Maybe the main story is right. After that, many additions can be there. As time passes, like now you do that. One line you put in, you start a gossip. Please start a gossip. When it comes back to you, you won't recognize it. Because people, each one goes, he gives his contribution. It doesn't work out. So when the person is introduced to this subject, right away you cannot go to the absolute. This subject, this way we are talking, discussing, you listen to it, you like it, it is fantastic. Then you say, how the other people are listening to different types of religious discourses? Don't ask. Why? Because at that time, that person's mind is comfortable with that. You cannot sit down with maybe Kumbhabhishekam for 4 hours. You cannot maybe sit down for a particular ritual for 2 days or 3 days. Maybe you are such a beautiful thinker, you can sit down also comfortably 5 hours, you can listen to everything, because as long as you are aware of yourself, and you can listen to these things and solve your problem once for all. Ask yourself a question. Which one is more interesting? When you listen and solve your problem once for all, or you sit down and see something to forget your problems? Are you getting that? When you are involving in a puja, ritual, dance, drama, music, food, are you getting that? Sight, song, touch, you are engaging yourself in these things, you are forgetting yourself. Will you be interested in that? Or you will be interested in listening to something which resolves your problem? Which one is interesting? Please see that. Most people will be interested in forgetting things. Are you getting that? Most people. That is why if you have a bhajan sandhya, an evening of music and chanting and singing and dancing and all that stuff, there will be 10 million people sitting down there. You make one discourse, understanding about one's own self, 10 people will not be there. Just think of it. So if you are a smart person, even while helping them to listen to music, or touching something, tasting something, seeing something beautiful, convey the message through that. Then the person will grasp it. Because this is not something divorced from life. Who I am, listen please, oh, this is beautiful. Who I am is not divorced from I am the body. Getting that point? In I am the body, I is there or not? How beautiful, huh? I am miserable, I is there or not? In a statement, I am happy, I is there or not? I am living, I am dying, I is there or not? In every statement of yours, I am a part of it. What is this I? Are you getting that? How simple it is. In every statement of it, I is a part. I am happy, I am disturbed, I am miserable. I is a part. So who is this I? Even Tato, the classes have told you. One absolute I. Others are relative identities. Millions of relative identities. Whatever relative identity you talk about, it will have the I. But to say I don't have to say I am a man or a woman or this or that. Just imagine, please see this. How many children are interested in their body and how many children are interested in their dresses? Child, think of child. How many children are interested in their body, understand the importance of the body, And how many children are interested in the dresses? Same baby grows up. Grown-up babies remain more interested in dress than in their body. That is why you can see average person's body is crazy, but dresses are beautiful. Think of it. Average person himself is crazy. And what is a dress? Your achievements are also dresses. I am graduate, postgraduate, PhD, engineer, believer, non-believer. Are you getting that point? Like a child, not interested in his body, fights for the dresses. You can understand for a child, but for a grown-up baby, how many people are interested in themselves and how many are interested in the dresses that they have collected? Somebody is proud of his religious identity, dress, or faith, customs, traditions, puja, worship, chanting, renunciation, and whatnot. Another person is proud of his achievement, of this car, this house, this man, that woman. Oh. Please. This description will be like pouring molten iron, hot molten iron, into the ear of the person who is interested in dresses. But he shall say, you are life denier. How can you dismiss everything? If we are only dismissing, it's a crime. But if you are negating as well as asserting, you are telling me what all I am not, with that you are not stopping. You are also telling me who I am. Neither the mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, none of these things. Shivoham, Shivoham. Please. So depending on the type of mind, and ask yourself what type of mind you have. Don't sit down there, I know, that's why my brother should have been here to listen to it. Oh, you. Are you being yourself? It can never be overemphasized. Because even after listening for months and years and years and years and years, still the person is struggling and is stuck on the words, informations, books, practices, actions, thoughts, ideas, but never in himself, struggling. Or else you will not argue with people. If you are totally at rest with yourself, will you argue with somebody? Argue means argue where there is a sparks fly. There is more heat than the light. Why should you? Suppose I say, I am the happiness. Other person, no, you are not the happiness. Shall I argue? It's like telling, I am a very rich man. No, you are not rich, you are the poorest of the poor. Thank you. What is there to argue? The person is poor, so he wants to say, you are also poor. How can you be rich when he is poor? Since he is ignorant, he wants to see that you are also ignorant. How can he accept that you are wise when he is ignorant? So he is not looking for the confirmation that whatever he is, you are also that. He is ignorant, so in the world of the wise, ignorant has a place. But in the world of the ignorant, wise man has no place. In the land of the rich, the poor man has a place. But in the land of the poor, rich man has no place. They'll try to pull him down, destroy him, because he should come to our level. Communism, like socialism they talk about. distribute poverty. So distribute ignorance. Since maximum people are ignorant, you should not talk about wisdom. Think. I had told you one story about the conversion, right? I'll repeat it again because today I'll tell you some beautiful points on that. Suddenly the thought came, I'll tell you. I'll repeat that story for you, right? You know, conversion, that is Sardar, okay? Don't feel Sardar or this, just a storyline. And that you can see the message is different. It's just a nice, interesting story. The Sardar living in a very, like in a medieval village in France. And he is a very happy-go-lucky man, like any Sardar, wonderful people. So he enjoys his food, and every day he enjoys his barbecue. You know that story, okay? Just listen to it again. He enjoys barbecue, chicken. But in that deeply conservative Christian village, you can eat every day chicken or meat or whatever you like, but on Saturday you must have only fish. You should not have chicken. So when the Sardar went and made the chicken on every day, the whole village was disturbed. Because when the fragrance comes now, they feel disturbed, they should have it, they can't have it, but this one is doing that. So what did they say? But at the same time they can't say you shouldn't have it. So they went and told the local father, do something about it. Why don't you make this fellow, change his faith, religion, so that he becomes also like one of us. Then anyway, Sardar also being alone there, on Sunday many people go to church, everybody goes to church, he also goes to church, because at least socializing, some people are there. Then when the father saw him there, he told him, now that you are here, and you don't have any many friends, this is a nice place you are coming to, welcome to our group, why don't you become a Christian? Not that he wants to make him a Christian, he wants to make him eat fish in the Saturday. That is his interest. He is not interested in making him a Christian or not. Anyway, he said, why don't you become a Christian? He said, but how do I become a Christian? He said, you come next Sunday, I will baptize you. So next Sunday he goes there, and the person baptizes him. After the sermon, baptizes him. You are born a Sardar, you are raised a Sardar, now you are a Christian. And remember, Saturday evening you should not be eating chicken, it will be only fish. That is the main message. He is not interested in other things, because village is just a small village who talks about philosophy. So next Saturday it was only fish. The whole village was very pleased. Next one, fish. Third Saturday, again chicken. The village people are disturbed. And they came and told the father, look, how he has completely changed again. The father said, no. Then the father came and said, true. So he asked him, in the kitchen, in the next Sunday, he asked him, sir, you remember you are not supposed to eat chicken. He said, yes, I eat fish only. If he says fish. But next Saturday, the moment he started cooking fish again, the villagers phoned up to the father, and father comes there as though moving, coming around, visiting him. Then he saw his fish. He said, sir, do you remember I told you this is Saturday, you must eat only fish. He says, no, I'm not eating, I'm only eating fish. He said, this is not fish. He said, no, this is fish. But this is chicken. He said, no, this is fish. He said, how can you say that? He said, look, I brought that one chicken. Then I also told him the same thing. You are born a chicken. You are raised a chicken. Today, now on, you are a fish. By talking like that, chicken becomes a fish. So by converting, you really change people. But that is not the story. My point, this you have heard about, but this is my point today. Listen carefully. You can't say that statement also. You are born a Sardar, you are raised a Sardar, and now in Christian. No. Nobody is born a Sardar. Nobody is born a Hindu, nobody is born a Christian, nobody is born a Muslim, nobody is born a believer or non-believer. You are born as you are, unborn absolute. In every possible way you are converted. Are you getting that point? If your father, listen carefully, you are not a born Christian, you are born to a father or mother who is Christian. And they think they are Christian. You are not born Hindu. You are born to a parents, those who think they are Hindu. You are not born Indian. You are born a human being. But if your parents are in India and they are Indians, you become a Indian. If your parents are American living in India, you are still American. You are not Indian. But are you an American or Indian? European or Australian? What is your nationality? Nobody is born in a particular nationality. Listen carefully. Your parents give you the identity that they have. This is the point I wanted to make. Are you getting that point? Your parents give you the identity they have, which they value, they hold on. Parents are vegetarian, you become vegetarian. Parents are non-vegetarian, you are non-vegetarian. Anybody born vegetarian or born non-vegetarian? You are born Aryan, veget, non-veget, you are, in a sense, I get make a joke out of it. You are born what? Until you start eating vegetable, you are not a vegetarian. Until you start eating non-vegetarian, not non-vegetarian. So before you became vegetarian, non-vegetarian, where are you? What were you? Are you getting that point, please? You are not born PhD. You are not born anything. Suppose your parents are enlightened people, what do they tell you? Like Madalasa. Are you getting that? Upadesh. Suddhosi, buddhosi, niranjanosi, sansara maya parivarjitosi. The mother is singing the lullaby, a cradle song to the child. Suddhosi, buddhosi. You are Shuddha, pure, absolutely pure. There is nothing other than yourself, consciousness. Suddhosi, buddhosi, niranjanosi. You are Buddha, enlightened, awakened, consciousness. Niranjana, untainted. Sansara maya parivarjitosi. You are free from the illusion of the samsara. Nothing has touched you. Then slowly you get into the trap. Are you getting that? Not that you knew you are free. You don't know you are free, but you neither know you are bound. Hey, are you getting that point? This is fantastic. The child does not know he is free. Does the child know he is bound? Then why do you make him bound? Why don't you give him a condition to make him free? The child has no sense of, are you getting that? When child is born, the child has no sense of bondage, nor he has a sense of freedom. Then why are we invoking the sense of bondage? Listen carefully. Then can you invoke a sense of freedom? You cannot. Why? Because the individuality is not yet come. So the moment you have to help him to develop a sense of individuality, that itself is a bondage. So you cannot invoke a sense of freedom in a child. First you must feel bound for the freedom to be invoked. Are you getting that point, please? That is why it is a beautiful plan, a blueprint. I say Upanishads are out of the universe. Aparavidya, paravidya. You start with aparavidya, objective knowledge. You cannot tell a child, you are the happiness, you are the absolute, you are the Anandam, you are Brahman. You won't understand. And even if he repeats that, that will be as much a bondage. As much, I am the body is a bondage. If you repeat, I am the Brahman, that also will be a bondage. Are you getting that point, please? I am talking is as much a noise. I am silent also is a noise. Right or wrong? Suppose you say, I am silent. Is it a noise or a quietude? I am bound. Bondage. I am free. Also bondage. Why? If you are conditioned to believe you are free, if somebody says you are bound, you will fight against it. Because you don't know that you are free. You repeat that you are free. That is why any time when you are protesting, resisting, feeling challenged, you don't understand. Therefore does not mean no resistance means wisdom. You are a terrorist. You don't resist it. It's all right. So he is a wise man. Huh? You know, Ishvara, please me. Just even by telling you are born a chicken, raised a chicken, and now you are a fish, nothing changes. In reality, you are not born anything except born free. Your sense of being, nobody can take away, nobody can give it to you. But the person is not aware. That is the ignorance. Understand? That is the ignorance. The person is not aware. Please see that beauty. You are neither aware that I am bound, nor you are aware I am free. You don't even have a sense of I. What to talk of I am free or I am bound. So the parents give you their sense of identity. The society give you their sense of identity. Are you getting that point, please? Please see that. You are my son. You are finished. No parents will say, you are you. No, you are my son. So from that day, you are his son. His daughter. You are my husband. You are my wife. So now you are a husband or a wife. You are my brother. You are my sister. You are an Indian. You are a man. Man is superior. You are a woman, inferior. Ugh. Transgender, useless fellows. What type of conditionings have gone in? Think, friends. And you take it, lock, stock, barrel. We swallow it. We are overwhelmed by it. I am a man, I am supposed to be strong, but I am so weak. If a woman is really strong, tomboy, stupid. I am supposed to be rich, so poverty is looked down upon. I am poor, you are hated, you look down upon yourself. I am rich, arrogance comes in. Whereas I am as I am, rich, I am as I am. Is it arrogance or humility? So birds of same feather flock together. Believers come together. same type of believers come together. Are you getting that point? Singers will come together, musicians will come together, dancers will come together, magicians will come together, so-called intellectuals will come together, so-called singers will come together, so-called ritualists will come together, so-called tantrics will come together, so much yoga practitioners will come together, politicians will come together. You understand? How many clubs, listen carefully, how many clubs you can join? Any club you join, there is an exclusive identity. Everybody is not a magician, there you cannot be magician's club. Everybody is not a musician, you are not in a musician's club. Everybody is not a PhD, you are not a PhD club. Everybody is not a postdoctoral, you are in a postdoctoral club. Everybody is not a Hindu, you are not a Hindu club. Everybody is not a Christian, you are not a Christian club. Everybody is not a tantric, you are not a tantric club. Everybody is not poor, you are not poor man's club. Everybody is not millionaire, you are not millionaire's club. But everybody is in happiness club. Everybody is in consciousness club. Everybody is in a club of the being, where each one is himself, and that self is one and the same. As Bhagavan says beautifully in Gita, Aham Atma Gudakesa Sarva Bhutaya Saste. Here, Arjuna, I am the self in all the beings. Avivakta cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. In what language? Avivaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Undivided, indivisible, existing as though divided. Bhuteshu avivaktam. In and through everything that is subject to change and becoming, bhuta, this is the changeless being. Existing as though divided. Space is not divided because there are different houses, different types of space. Car space, house space, what is that? Jungle space, mountain space, cave space, sea space, Indian space, American space, Australian space, France, Pakistani space, Thailand space. Space. But we have divided it. You get into my space, you are shut down. So in every identity that is given to us, nobody is born a chicken, like that one. You are not born a Sardar, or born an Indian, or born a Polish, or Mahadeva. Think of it. Even if you are born as a man, you can change your to woman. Now it is happening. You are born to a woman's body, you can change your woman's body. Ishvara. Think, friends. Nobody can give within inverted comma. Nobody can give you a sense of being that is yours, natural, undeniable, inescapable existence. Somebody can give you a role. Are you getting that point? Somebody only can give you a role. Will you lose yourself in your role? You understand? The simplicity of this wisdom, the simplicity of this wisdom. So simple question you ask throughout your life. Am I being me or am I being a role? If you are playing a role, you enjoy a game. If you are being the role, you are miserable. If you are playing the role, are you getting that? If you are playing the role, rich? Yes. Poor? Yes. Young? Yeah. Old? Yes. Body is young, I am young. Body is old, I am old. Why? Because who I am is neither young nor old. Married, unmarried, divorced, much married. Yesterday there was somebody sent me a thing. One man has got 38 wives, 90 children, some grandchildren. Oh boy, he doesn't know who is who. Huh? Neither among the brothers also, they don't know who is a brother, who is a sister. Because very difficult. 38 wives. And all the ladies telling, oh, it's wonderful, it's so nice, he's a nice man, no problem. Everybody is a family, so he's a rich man, so he has his own school for their own children. He doesn't send children for the school. I don't know which country it is, but there is no, he's not arrested for bigamy or polygamy or anything like that, nothing. And nobody feels like forced or anything like that. Good or bad? What is the identity? Just think of it. Of course, that's a relative thing. We are like a society in which you are allowed certain conditions. With just one social law, even a crime can be a great noble action. Think of it. Just a law, like in income tax, anything above 500,000 rupees shall be taxed. So suppose you have got anything, suppose it was previously 100,000 means you have to be taxed. So you wanted to hide your income. Now the moment they say 500,000, now you are feeling very free. Previously you were a criminal if you had money more than 100,000. Now you are feeling very comfortable with 500,000. So put it up to 5 billion. Everybody is wonderful, no? Nobody is avoiding tax. Just change it. If you put 90% is the pass mark, so a lot of people fail. 70%, many will pass. 30%, many will pass. No examination. Everybody pass. Just think of it. Previously, if you hit somebody only, it's a crime. Now, if you touch somebody also, it's a crime. What happens? Many more people will come under the ambit. Just to touch somebody is a crime. So, everybody is a crime. Everybody is a criminal. Relative world, friends, please see. Nobody is born anything except free. Somebody had told that it's not that they gave this wisdom, it was in their head. Man is born free, but everywhere in bondage. In this Upanishadic line, you can see that really you are born free. Because you are who you are before you pick up any type of role. If this much you understand, whole throughout the day, you are who you are before you are choosing to pick up a role. So throughout the day, what shall you be? Absolutely blissful, always in meditation. Okay? Close your eyes, please. Please see these friends, because you have been listening for a long, long time. And there are so many different varieties of teaching going on. So many varieties of religious instructions. And everybody claims that is the only thing which is right. Understand that who you are, who everybody is, absolutely right. But what all things you have, be it a thought, idea, belief, practice, they are not absolute. That is why in the name of your relative identities, relative faiths, beliefs, practices, action, the world shall continue to fight. There will be so much of disturbance. In fact, you don't need somebody else to disturb you. If you have lost sight of yourself, who you are, and you identify with a particular role, you shall have intrapersonal fight. Intrapersonal fight means fighting within yourself, between one role and the other, one thought and the other, one idea and the other. And when there is intrapersonal fight, interpersonal fight is just an extension, very natural. You start fighting with each other. Who is superior, who is inferior, who is better, who is lesser, who is rigid, who is free, who is holy, who is unholy. Do you want that type of conflict in your life? When who you are is free from every type of roles, limitations, and divisions of any kind and every kind. Either you are superior to somebody or inferior to somebody. So no more we must say, you are born an Indian, born a Christian, born a Hindu, born an engineer, born drunkard. No. We are born free. The roles are given. Of course, as I told you, the child has neither a sense of freedom or bondage. Then why give him invoking a sense of bondage? And not help him to be free. You cannot give him the sense of freedom from the beginning. Whatever practices, whatever ideas you give, the child will be bounded by that. Later on, he must understand himself. Because whatever ideas you give him, that will be his definition. The growing child will be defined by his father, his mother, his society, his country, his faith, his food, his ideas, practices. Therefore, he can't escape being bound. But ultimately, when you teach him, help him to discover that who he is indefinable, cannot be defined by what he has or what he has picked up. But he is the ultimate self-definition. He doesn't need anything, any role, any idea, any action, any faith or lack of it to be defined. Nothing can define him. He is indefinable. He doesn't need anything to define himself. Awareness, consciousness, existence. Yourself as you are. Just see that, friends, and be free at all times, all places, all conditions. Even the death cannot touch you. No force in the universe can ever touch you. You are everywhere, yet untouched, untouchable. Be that self who you are. Oh.